Have you ever seen a large black bird and wondered, is that a raven or a crow? You're not alone. Even native English speakers mix them up all the time. At first glance, they look almost identical: big, black, intelligent birds with strong beaks and glossy feathers. But ravens and crows are not the same. In this video, we'll break down the key differences between them, including size, shape, behavior, voice, habitat, and even their symbolism in culture. Both birds belong to the same family, called Corvidae, one of the most intelligent bird families in the world. This group also includes magpies and jays. The two species we'll mostly talk about are the common raven and the American crow. While there are different species of ravens and crows worldwide, these two are the most commonly discussed in North America. Let's start with the easiest difference. Size matters. The most obvious difference between a raven and a crow is size. Ravens are significantly larger. A common raven can have a wingspan of up to 4 to 5 feet. That's about 120 to 150 centimeters. They are one of the largest songbirds in the world. Crows are smaller. An American crow usually has a wingspan of about 3 feet, around 85 to 100 centimeters. If you see a black bird that looks almost as big as a hawk, it's probably a raven. If it looks closer to the size of a pigeon, just bulkier and all black, it's likely a crow. But size alone can be tricky to judge without comparison. So let's move to something more reliable. Tail shape in flight. This is one of the best ways to tell them apart. When flying, a raven has a wedge-shaped or diamond-shaped tail. A crow has a fan-shaped tail. If you see the bird from below while it's flying overhead, look at the tail. If it forms a pointed shape, that's a raven. If it spreads out evenly like a handheld fan, that's a crow. Birdwatchers often rely on this detail because it's surprisingly consistent. The sound of their voice. Their calls are very different. Crows make the classic caw-caw sound. It's higher-pitched, sharp, and repetitive. Ravens, on the other hand, have a much deeper, throatier sound. Instead of caw, they produce more of a croak or low gronk. It sounds almost like a frog or a low growl. If you hear a deep, echoing croaking sound in the distance, chances are you're listening to a raven. Interestingly, both birds are incredibly vocal and capable of complex communication. Ravens, in particular, can produce a wide variety of sounds, even mimicking other animals and human-made noises. Behavior and personality. Both ravens and crows are extremely intelligent. Scientists consider them among the smartest birds on Earth. They can solve complex puzzles, use tools, recognize human faces, remember people who treated them well or badly. Crows are known for living in large social groups. They often gather in big flocks, especially in urban areas. At sunset, you might see hundreds or even thousands of crows gathering together in trees. Ravens are more solitary. You'll usually see them alone or in pairs. They prefer wild, open areas rather than cities. Another interesting behavior difference is in flight style. Crows flap their wings constantly when flying. Ravens are more graceful. They soar and glide more often, sometimes performing rolls and playful aerial tricks. If you see a large black bird doing acrobatic movements in the sky, that's probably a raven. Habitat. Crows adapt extremely well to human environments. You'll find them in cities, suburbs, farmland, parks. They are comfortable around people and have learned to take advantage of urban life. Ravens prefer more remote areas. Mountains, forests, deserts, cliffs. While they can sometimes appear near towns, they generally avoid crowded urban centers. So, if you're in the middle of a busy city and see a black bird, it's more likely a crow. Beak and throat feathers. There are also subtle physical differences. Ravens have a larger, heavier, more curved beak. Shaggy throat feathers, sometimes called hackles. Crows have a slimmer beak. Smoother throat feathers. If you get a close look, The raven often appears more rugged and powerful, while the crow looks sleeker. Intelligence and problem solving. Both birds are incredibly smart, but ravens are often considered slightly more independent problem solvers. Scientific studies have shown that ravens can plan for the future, something once believed to be uniquely human. Crows, on the other hand, are masters of teamwork. They cooperate, warn each other of danger, and even hold what looks like funerals when one of their group dies. Their intelligence rivals that of some primates. Symbolism and culture. Ravens and crows have powerful symbolism in human history. In Norse mythology, the god Odin had two ravens, Hugin and Munin, who flew around the world and brought him information. In literature, perhaps the most famous raven appears in the poem The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Crows also appear frequently in folklore, often associated with mystery, intelligence, and sometimes death. Because of their black color and haunting calls, both birds are often linked to dark or supernatural themes. But in reality, they are simply highly intelligent survivors.